the Death Valley Germans, the family that vanished in the desert. In July 1996, a German family of 4 drove into Death Valley National Park, one of the hottest and most unforgiving places on Earth. They were on a sightseeing trip through the American West. Weeks later, their rental minivan was found abandoned on a remote dirt road deep in the desert. The family had vanished. For years, search teams found nothing, and the case became one of the most haunting wilderness mysteries in the United States. The family, the missing travelers, were Egon Bass, father, 33, Cornelia Meyer, mother, 27, of their 2 young sons, George, 4, and Max, 10. They had flown from Germany to the United States for a summer holiday. Their route included famous destinations like Las Vegas Strip, a Grand Canyon, Death Valley National Park. After visiting Las Vegas, they drove toward Death Valley. That was the last confirmed part of their journey, the abandoned van. Weeks later, park rangers discovered their Plymouth Voyager minivan stuck on an extremely remote mining road. Inside the vehicle were strange clues, personal belongings, children's toys, empty water bottles, and no signs of violence. Even more puzzling, the van's tires were still usable. The road was rarely traveled. The nearest help was many miles away. It looked as if the family had tried to drive somewhere few tourists ever go. Then they simply left the vehicle. The massive search. Search teams scoured the surrounding desert for weeks. They used helicopters, tracking teams, rangers on foot, volunteers. But Death Valley is enormous and brutally hot. Temperatures can exceed 50 degrees Celsius, 122 degrees Fahrenheit in summer. No bodies, no tracks, no confirmed direction of travel. The desert had erased the trail. The breakthrough 13 years later. In 2009, hikers exploring a remote canyon called Enville Canyon made a grim discovery. They found human remains and scattered personal items belonging to the family. Investigators eventually determined the family likely left the van searching for help. They walked through extremely rough terrain. Heat and dehydration overwhelmed them. Sadly, their route took them deeper into the wilderness instead of toward safety. Why it still feels unsettling. Even though remains were eventually found, many parts of the story still puzzle investigators. Questions remain. Why did they drive so far down a dangerous mining road? Why leave the van instead of staying with it? Did they believe help was closer than it actually was? One small mistake in a place like Death Valley can become fatal. The quiet danger of the desert. The tragedy of the Death Valley Germans isn't supernatural, but it's still haunting. A family on vacation, a wrong turn on a lonely road, a desperate walk for help in extreme heat, and a wilderness so vast it took 13 years to uncover the truth. In places like Death Valley, the landscape doesn't just hide mysteries. Sometimes it creates them.